Hi, I'm Nick, the product owner of Data Protection and Security Toolkit here at Actonic. I want to discuss the Data Cleaner module of our application for Jira DC version. With the Data Cleaner, we can find and anonymize any piece of content there is in the Jira instance. And we can do that by creating a template for the anonymization. For example, we can navigate to the Create Custom Template, and I will walk you through all the steps required to complete the configuration of this module. So step number 1 is the scope configuration. Step number 2 is data processing rules. Number 3 is post functions. Number 4 is reporting options, and number 5 is scheduling. But at first we should name our template. It can be any name. For example, it can be a template name 1, which is just for internal use, so we know what the template is all about. In the scope configuration, we are looking for the information. For example, it can be in the current projects, and we can include any kind of JQL there is, or we can choose archived projects and we have the scope picker for it. For the current projects, we can include that project is not empty, for example, and the whole Jira instance will be searched for the information. Next, we can choose fields. In the fields drop-down, we can choose any kind of fields, including custom fields there is for our Jira instance. And we also have this button right here, and clicking on it, we can select all fields, select all user fields or text-based fields, or clear the selection we already have. And we can select all the fields and we can look for information everywhere there is. And there is also one checkbox which says try to skip already scanned content. It means that if this template is running one or many times, like for example 2 times, 3 times, or it's a scheduled task, this will try to skip all the content which was not created or updated during the runs, during the first one and during the following runs. So it will be much faster when you check this and run this template one more time. The next one is data processing rules. Right here, we are defining what we are actually looking for in our instance. We can create our own rule, or we can use the add built-in rule library, which we already created for you. And in the built-in rules, we have a lot of selections. For example, there can be phone numbers, there can be email numbers, ID numbers, passport numbers based on the countries, based on the regions. We also have credit card numbers, IP addresses, and here there is, we have already created them. So we can choose one or many, maybe we want to choose 3 at once, and add selected rules for our data processing rules. And these rules are all actually regular expressions. So regular expression gives us the ability to choose and find the pattern-based information. And we can also create our own rule, and I will be showing you how it can be done. At first, while creating a new rule, we can name our rule. It can be my rule or any name we want for the rule. And next, we are defining what we are looking for. So it can be plain text, it can be regular expression, it can be user type search, or it can be any user type of search. In case of plain text, it is case sensitive. It means that we know what we are looking for, and the information, only this will be searched for in our instance. In case of regular expressions, we can define any kind of pattern-based information. There is pattern-based data, and we can look for it, and we can define our regular expression right here. The next is also the user type. So we can also look for any kind of user-related information, and we are choosing the users which can be searched for. For example, we can choose Andreas, and we can choose how the user will be replaced. For example, it can be admin. So any field we will be searching for with our data cleaner, and it includes the name or the user Andreas will be replaced for this another user, which is admin in this case. And we will be talking a lot more about the user anonymizer in our next module. And the next search type and the last one is any user. It means that any single user in the Jira instance will be replaced for example, admin system user. So all the user data in the instance will be lost and will be replaced, because maybe we want to archive the project, archive the instance at all, and we do not want any kind of user information anymore. This is it for our data processing rules, and of course we can choose the information and how the information will be processed. One more thing I want to mention is that we can edit and choose any kind of template or any kind of rule which we can import from the built-in rules library. For example, let's go in the standard credit card numbers. Let's click this gear icon, click the edit, and you can see that, hey, this is rule name standard credit card number, search type is regular expression, this is the actual regular expression, and we are also choosing the replacement type. So, of course, in case of replacement type, we can choose none, which means that we are just looking for the information. We want to identify where is the information, or maybe the responsible people for it. The next is to replace the content with empty strings. It will means that this information will be removed from the instance at all. The next is plain text, so we can choose any kind of text. We can input any kind of text which will be shown instead of credit card numbers in the instance. We can choose hashtag symbols. Only 3 hashtag symbols will be displayed instead of credit card numbers, and we can also choose hashtag symbols based on the character length. So in case of credit card numbers, it will be 16 hashtags. So we can choose 3, we can choose anything there is, we can choose nothing at all, and we can just look for the information instead of replacing the information. We can save it and leave it as it is. The next step is post functions. In the post functions, we can describe the additional functionality to the data processing rules. For example, at first we should name the post function, which can be my function in this case, and there is also rule scope, on which rule this post function will be applied to, or you can just click on this and it will be applied for any rule there is. Next, we are choosing the post function type. It can be add comments to the ticket. It means that anywhere we find the specific information which we are looking for with our rules, we have already created and we have 3 data processing rules, we are going to comment on the issues where the information was found, and we can also fire event issue commented, and we can choose if this task should be completed during the anonymization or during the search or during the search and anonymization tasks. And the difference between the search and anonymization is how the content is actually replaced. If we are not replacing the content, if we are just looking for the information, it means that this run is a search run and it is a search task. And if we are replacing with any hashtags or plain text or with anything there is, it means that this is an anonymization task. So we can include search and anonymization tasks both in our execute post function for property. The next option for the post function type is to add labels to the tickets, and there we can add any kind of label there is. Maybe we want to add multiple labels, and we can also send notifications for it. And of course, if the label doesn't exist, we are creating the labels for you. And the last one is to send email notifications. We can send email notifications to the issue assignees, reporters, watchers, and component leads, of course, if the component is not empty. And we can define the subject and the message of this notification. And we also have variables which are allowed, for example, issue key, issue link, summary, and etc. Anything can be included in these post functions. The next step is reporting options. For example, we want more reporting options, and we can do it by this. We can always send notification of the template and how it works, and we can list down any number of emails there is, and everyone will get the notification of this template when it will finish actually running. And we can also attach statistics as an email attachment. It means that any recipient there is for this email template notification will be able to open the email attachment and see all the possible credit card numbers or NHS numbers or anything there is defined by our rules in data processing rules. And we can also add reports to the Atlassian Jira log or Catalina out. The last step is the scheduling step, where we can enable our scheduling. We can set the cron expression. For example, right now it is set as 1 a.m. every single day, and we can execute the type as a search or anonymization. It means that this template will be running every single day at 1 a.m. and it will be just looking for the information. Or we can set as anonymization, and this template will be anonymizing the information in the instance based on our data processing rules. Here is how this template can be configured and how data cleaner can be configured in our Jira instance for the data center version. And we can also see the statistics of each template and how they look like and what kind of information can be found or can be cleared. For example, our history logs consist of many iterations, and each template can be run one or multiple times, and there can be anonymization, it can be search run, it can be any kind of run, and we can always export all the information to the CSV, or we can always edit the template and run, of course, the anonymization straight from the statistics. For example, this template test CC cleaner was running on this date, and we found some of the information, for example, Croatian phone numbers we found in the history field of the issues in this specific issue in this specific project. And because this was just a search run, we are able to see all the possible matches and all the information which was provided with this template. And if we are running the anonymization run, we are not able to see the affected content at all anywhere. So this is how our data cleaner works. Hope you like it, and thank you for your time.